Good morning. Welcome back to Ascending with Ashley. I'm Ashley. We're gonna do a reading. Let me put my foot up. We're gonna do a reading, okay? Wow, one card popped out. The Hermit. Hermit is represented by Virgo. We are in Virgo season, so perhaps you are taking. Oh shoot, we have the Devil on the bottom of the deck. Hopefully you are taking some time for yourself. Maybe you're falling into fall gap. I'm falling into the gap. This is an old slogan from the Gap. I don't know if it still is, but anyway, I know lots of people are talking about the Gap because of their marketing in response to American Eagle. I love it. I shuffled and we have the Hermit and Nine of Swords. So these cards haven't come out, but there is some heavy energy here. Maybe you're just trying to take some time to find some balance. I just started a new series last night called Trauma Talks. I'm going to be kicking off another new series today called The Quest for Consciousness, or Quest to Consciousness is what I think I decided on. Because, God, the Hermit. Okay, we're going to leave it out because it just won't stop. Alright, so the Hermit is the main energy of this reading. It wants to be seen, it wants to be heard. So yeah, like I said, Virgo energy, we're in Virgo season. There is a Pisces full moon. Eclipse tomorrow, September 7th. And Pisces and Virgo are sister signs. I did a whole reading, or a whole full moon video about that. My full moon videos are not usually that long, so go check that out if you want to know more. Right now the North Node and South Node are currently in Pisces and Virgo, so okay. Here we go. Hello. I just changed my nose rings yesterday, and the last nose ring I got is the Hanged Man. We'll see what else comes out. Anyway, my nose is really sore today, even though it's been a month. But this guy didn't pierce it right, so I think I'm gonna let it close and then get it re-pierced later this year, next year. Because it's very important to me that my hoops lay correctly, and they are not. Okay, we've got a lot of cards here. Thanks for listening to me talk about my news. Temperance at the bottom of the deck, finding that balance. Okay, and maybe that is why there's Hermit energy here so prominently, right? It just keeps coming. That's what she said. Anyway, I got my fall reading, Women Who Run with the Wolves. I read this right before I got pregnant, some of it, and I haven't since, so, woo, let's see what we've got. Queen of Cups, emotional stability within our feminine energy. Feminine is the receiving. I am very much trying to practice being in my there's a lot of power here. There's a lot of power. Okay, so we have the Hermit and the Hanged Man. Maybe you've been taking some time to yourself to make a decision, okay? The Hangman is, I'm also getting the Fool card. I always get the Fool when I get the Hangman, because it's like taking a leap of faith, but not to your detriment, right? There's this warning about balance here. I know I'm having to go back out into the world and become a little bit more extrovert with my line of work and networking and such. And that's hard for me, so maybe that's hard for you too. Look at the way this light is transferring as well. Very deep hues of blue into green. Our blue is our throat chakra and our green is our heart. So maybe you are learning to speak up for yourself, learning to knowing that if you don't want to get stuck. That's what the Hangman energy is about. But like I said, I usually get that feeling after some sort of Fool movement, right? The Fool is taking a chance. We have really good cards here, though. So I'm gonna, okay. I'm not taking these the order they came out. Maybe there is some sort of acknowledgement of how far you've come. Three of Cups always gives me this like past, present, future reflection, right? Knowing where you're going, knowing that you've been guided right, and trusting that guidance so you don't get stuck anywhere, right? And then the Six of Cups also gives me that reflection of time, space, relationship, experiences. So maybe that's what you're doing in hermit mode right now. Again, we do have this full moon in Pisces. Pisces is cup energy, emotions. It's also the moon in the tarot, but the moon is not here. We do have some queens and kings. Let me go through these harder energies quick, and then we'll end on a high note. Okay, as far as the what challenges you may be facing with either within this hermit mode or as you're stepping into whatever leap of faith it is to ensure that you don't stay stuck. You're going to be releasing, this is the Nine of Swords, you're going to be releasing a lot of self-imposed bondage. Not necessarily self-imposed bondage, but the narratives or monologues that others have told about you, your shadow aspects, shame, embarrassment, guilt, things like that, that you're allowing to stay in your mind. Okay, sword energy is mental energy. I finally put my cheat sheet up so I don't have to find it. Anyway, so whatever mental you're focusing on, what other mental energy do we have here? So we have this progression of mental energy. And we have this progression of cups as well. I didn't. Okay, I'll go back to that. So let's talk about this mental energy within the swords. Seven of Swords, some sort of integrity, moving forward, taking a leap, or going in fast. Maybe you made a decision to fast about something, and you kind of got fucked, right? That could be explaining what this Hangman as energy is. And through your process, maybe you're figuring it out, you're going to come into the King of Swords. You're going to become a master within this mental energy. I mean, look at this. We could read it this way too. Maybe we're stuck and you're deciding not to be. We don't have to go in the chronological order of the deck, although it does tell a story within itself. I do what I want. So maybe there was this bondage, maybe you decided to break free, and maybe now here you are, right? Hopefully that's what it is. That's the King of Swords. We also have the Queen of Cups and the Queen of Pentacles and the fucking Emperor. Emperor and the Hierophant. I just did a reading for the Masculine Collective the other day, and this is the next time I'm checking in. This is a huge, I think I already used the word progression, but that's what this is. This is a huge, if this is the same collective that the other one was receiving, I don't know, this your masculine energy, your action is very stable, okay? And that's why I'm surprised. Perhaps this is, I don't know, maybe this is within masculine energy, because the other one, it was not quite so much. I mean, we could have gotten there, but this is, we're already here. The Emperor and the Hierophant are both major arcana masculine energies. This is full enlightenment, and this is, Zaddy energy, right? Boss daddy. We have the, I didn't even see that. We also have the Page of Swords. So look at this paradox here. We have the Nine of Swords being stuck, bound, completely in your head, ruminating over things that are not serving you, feeling trapped, to this Page of Swords. I'm so sorry I missed it. Complete freedom. Your ideas are flowing. Your crown chakra is open, which again is this Hierophant energy. The progression into consciousness. right? Stairway to Heaven always when this card comes out. We do have the Five of Cups here. If we are looking at this natural progression between the past, present, and future, we're going to reflect on the things that didn't work out for us, but the things that are still here, okay? And we're going to focus on that positive cup versus not focusing on the wrong ones. Right? Not even the wrong, just what wasn't for us, okay? What were we trying to, what wasn't for you? Allow it to go, right? I'm in this process as well, especially with this full moon in Pisces. I am a Pisces sun sign. I am very much focusing on, if you are not aligning in my energy, you are not present in my energy. I'm not going to give you any attention or time or space. I'm over it, right? Like, I'm going to be moving forward in whatever. I refuse to get stuck again. I refuse to put myself back into a cycle that I've already completed. And I think collectively we're all getting there as people are waking up. They're like, I want to be happy. I want to be successful, right? I want to be balanced in my emotions and in my material. I want my mental to make sense, okay? The Emperor is the embodiment of all four suits. So we are missing wands, the King of Wands. Wand energy is about spirituality. So we're not missing it because it's illustrated here. So this is a balance of our material, emotional, mental, spiritual world, and that's what gives you this balance, is what gives you this Emperor and Empress energy. The Emperor is very much about solidifying plans, dreams into the physical, right? Which brings us to the Pentacle energy here. We don't want to be holding on so tightly that we aren't able to move. Again, putting ourselves in such an energy, right? The Four of Pentacles speaks to just holding on, right? Making sure, and this comes from a space of lack, right? We've all been through lack. We've all been through, I found myself going into lack this week as I was doing some healing cycles. And I'm like, there's no need for me to be putting myself in lack. There's a lot of conversation at a collective level right now about just the way things are going and how difficult it is. And so be careful what you hear from others. Don't let it take over in your own head, right? Make sure you keep facilitating your own ideas. Because those conversations are happening, because it is a very real situation. So just be careful to not get into a lack mentality and slow yourself down, because this holding on too tight to things that, abundance is a vibration. It is a state of being. It's not necessarily residing on the physical plane, even though money is a physical thing. The ability to call abundance towards you, right, is about you stepping into your gifts. This is someone who is drying herbs. Like, what do you have around you? One of the most helpful readers I ever had, this was when Niall and I were in Chino Valley. We had just gotten the RV, and I was very much listening to this one reader, Emmy Evolving. She's fantastic. But she said something about how whatever you need, because I'm like, oh, what am I gonna do? It's like the balls deep in the fucking quarantine of COVID. I had just left my marriage. I had just moved into a new state. I had moved state lines, and then I had to move out of the situation that I had moved into from my own marriage, right? And then that situation, I didn't know it at the time, but that situation also I was gonna have to move out of. And so all of that to say is, like, allowing yourself to move, right, with the urgency and necessity, right? When you know things aren't working anymore, move out of the way and do it quickly. Eight of Wands is the second fastest card in the deck behind the Chariot, which is a major arcana. Wands, again, is spiritual energy. There's a lot of major arcana in this reading. But anyway, do so quickly. When you know something isn't working, pivot. You know, you don't have to make a drastic change. You don't have to do anything. Um, it doesn't have to be huge. It just needs to be a pivot, right? Whatever that is for you, whatever the situation. But anyway, what Emmy said was, you already have everything you need. And it made me look at things differently. And that's kind of what brought me to what I'm doing today. Because I was like, what do I have a lot of? I have a lot of art supplies. I don't have the time to do art because I am raising a child on my own and having to move every couple months at this point in my life. So I started organizing my art supplies, and it turned into what it is today, right? Which hasn't even been launched yet. And I'm doing that thing again where I'm like, oh God, I put all this work in, and I haven't even done it yet. Or I feel like I should be, like, there's some sort of urgency, but that urgency isn't mine because I'm good. I'm chilling. I need this time to myself to make sure that I'm good, right? I need time to bask in the sun and enjoy my life and focus on what other things are. You know, I'm doing a lot of things. It's not just that one thing. And so maybe that's you too. Maybe you're finding that balance. But when she said you already have what you need. Maybe it's, you know, extra clothes that you're not wearing. Maybe, you know, what can you sell? If you're looking for money, look around your house. And I always say this when I do my Wake, Bake, and Makes, is like, start with what you have. And it's because of that reading I watched with Emmy. Start with what you have. You already have what you need, whether it's within you or something already in your physical environment. Maybe you already have a car and you want to do door dashing, right? Like, maybe you have, like, for me it was the art supplies. I have a lot of art supplies. I don't really have the time to do art, but I love facilitating art. Art has been, like, monumental in my own healing. How can I create that for others, right? Where I can facilitate that. I love setting up spaces. I love pulling community together. These are things that I do on the regular. And so navigating that as a mother has been a challenge, right? And now we have this, like, mobile art studio that's just sitting here because it isn't able to move right now. So even that, I'm like, should I just open it up at my house? Like, does that feel inappropriate? Like, would I have to let people in my house to use the bathroom? Like, these are the things I'm thinking about now, because I'm always going to get back into this space of, I'm not stuck. I just need to make a move, right? So what is the move I need to make so that I can bring it into fruition and stay balanced within these lessons I've already learned, right? How do I continue growing at this point while also benefiting others around me, right? I mean, that's my goal. But I mean, that's what these cards are saying, because when you are, look at how many major arcanas are here. When you are in this space of alignment, okay, so we are getting, let me just show you the major arcanas. I'll leave all the little ones out of here. No offense to anybody, but okay. So we start with the Hermit. You're alone, you're, you know, healing or whatnot. You are not stuck, but you don't want to get stuck, so you are navigating that. You come into this enlightenment, you allow yourself to grow, again, in all of those categories, right? Mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual. Your consciousness awakens. You recognize that you want to be happy, and you want others around you to also be happy. Look at the difference between these cards. The sun is ruled by Leo, so we just left Leo season and we entered into Virgo, but this reading started with this Hermit energy, which is represented by Virgo, and into the sun, okay? This doesn't necessarily mean one is better or worse, but it does mean, I mean, look at the light. Just look at the light. Don't look at the expression of the human. Look at the expansion that has come here. The light has expanded immensely, right? Follow the light in all of these cards. And it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And then it becomes something shining down on you. right? What is he holding? Oh, he's holding the... It looks like he's sitting on Mars. So, Mars rules Aries in the zodiac. And he's holding a chess piece. I don't play chess. I'm assuming that's the king or the queen. I don't know. But either way, there's this light, right? So what is your light doing? Your light is your internal flame. How are you feeling about things? Maybe you're feeling stuck, but don't let that be the end of your story, because it's just a moment, right? It's just a moment. So this looks good. It looks like it's quick. I would say anytime you're starting to feel any sort of despair or hung up, maybe take a moment to yourself, just to reflect on everything. Take a little bit in inventory, go through the things, just be mindful of your process. Don't just keep going because, I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't want to keep going in either of these energies. So if and when this comes up for you, continue to center back onto what do I have right now? What can I do right now to benefit me, to bring in money? Usually it's money, because money is the tool we all need to survive. So thinking about abundance in more expansive ways, okay? Because this is the goal. The goal is to be happy. The goal is to be stable, and to stay in these spaces. I mean, look how carefree everyone is. What do you need to do to stay in this energy? And if you need to stay to yourself for a little while, that hermit came out like 4 different times, so before I finally was like, okay, that's part of the message. So maybe take some time to yourself, especially while we are in Virgo season with this full moon. Alright, let's get, I know we're running out of time, but let me just do an affirmation, because this is a little heavy. Don't let your current circumstances keep you from what's coming, right? Acknowledge, I say this a lot, but acknowledge that the past informs your present, and your present gets to decide what your future does. It's a relationship. It's not an input system, but it's a living relationship, right? Oh, you get a feeling because your body communicates through feelings, and you get a feeling about something, you're like, oh, I don't want to do that again. So don't. Don't do it again. Don't put yourself back into a cycle you don't want to be in, right? Let your past be your teacher. Alright. Are you gonna give me one or what? Hurry up. Noticing cycles is a really important part, and it can be with, your relationship to people, substances, time, energy, victimhood, mentalities, whatever. It can be whatever it is for you. I'm just gonna pick this one. All great things have small beginnings. Replace fear of the unknown with curiosity, and the best is yet to come. Today is full of possibilities, and see possibility everywhere. Have a good one.